Welcome to the reflection of Good Friday here at Belle City Church. We're going to be looking at three different aspects of the day, starting with the crescendo. Then we're going to examine the anguish that Jesus went through on Good Friday. We're going to conclude with the finality that Jesus offers to us on Good Friday. The crescendo of Good Friday is found in Matthew chapter 27. The story climaxes Pontius Pilate brings Barabbas and Jesus before the people with freedom hanging in the balance. On one hand, you have Barabbas, who is a convicted murderer set to die for his sins. And on the other hand, you have Jesus, in whom no guilt was found. Pontius asked the people, "Which one of these would you like to be set free?" And they call out, crying out for Barabbas to be set free. Pontius, knowing that no evil was found in Jesus, reminds them that Jesus, the Christ, can be set free. And the people, who have been set into a frenzy by the religious leaders, again affirm their cry for Jesus to be crucified. The anguish of Good Friday starts after Jesus has been called for crucifixion by the Jews. He is led away where he is mocked and beaten and tormented by the soldiers. They push a crown of thorns into his head. He is led away with his cross upon his back, paraded through the city, where he succumbs to the pressure, the weight of the cross. Led up to the top of Golgotha, to the top of Calvary, spikes are driven into his hands and into his feet. His clothes are stripped, and the soldiers cast lots. And as tormented and as anguish-filled as those moments were, the worst was yet to come. As Jesus bore my sin, as he bore your sin, as he took the sin of humanity throughout history upon himself, he knew that his holy God, his holy Father, could no longer look upon him. And as he was breathing his last breath, he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" The finality of Good Friday is found in three statements that Jesus utters as he hangs on the cross. The first, "Father, please forgive them, for they know not what they do." Jesus, as he hung, looked upon the soldiers that had mocked him. He looked upon the soldiers that had beaten him, that had cast lot for his clothes. He knew that forgiveness was needed to be granted for those soldiers as they stood before him, and he asks for that to be granted. As he hung on the tree next to a thief who recognized that indeed he was the promised Messiah, and as he put his faith into Jesus, he reassures him that indeed he would be with him today in paradise. As Jesus hung on the cross, as his life was quickly coming to an end, before he gave up his spirit and breathed his last, he says the words, "It is finished." It is finished. The payment for my sin, the payment for your sins, has been done. No more deeds or works to be done. No more gifts to be given to earn our salvation before a holy God. But the payment for our sin was paid by Jesus. It is